A global drop in oil prices. What does this mean for the people living and working in Canada's oil patch? Also, 24 exciting hours in Fort McMurray, Alberta. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Welcome to Globe Now. In the latest issue of Report on Business magazine, the Globe and Mail and its sister company, Thomson Reuters, have teamed up to take a detailed look at the oil sands. Canada's economy has a lot at stake when it comes to oil sands development. But as prices drop from around $100 to about $80 a barrel, what does this mean for the country's fortunes? And what does the future hold for towns like Fort McMurray? Well, we've reached the Globe's Jeffrey Jones in Calgary to look at some of these questions. Hi, Jeffrey.
Hi, Affan.
Now, in the latest issue, you write about a time when everyone wanted a piece of Canada's oil sands. What has changed?
What has changed is not so much that they don't want a piece of the oil sands anymore, but there was such a buying spree that occurred over the last decade where you had state-owned enterprises from countries around the world as well as domestic companies buying up little plots of land and actually quite large plots of land as well to develop either through mining or through steam-driven projects. And now I think there is a situation where it's time to sort of get down to the business of developing that. Also, you'll recall at the end of 2012, when Prime Minister Harper approved the takeover of Nexen by China's CNOOC Limited, the government at the same time basically put a moratorium on acquisitions of oil sands projects, at least control of oil sands projects by foreign state-owned companies. So that created quite a chill as well over the last couple of years.
So what is the impact of dropping oil prices on people who live and work in the oil sands?
I think it's created a bit of a chill, actually, because you've had a situation where it's been a relatively strong price for oil sands, which has allowed these oil sands companies to plan expansions or new projects around Fort McMurray. And now the difference is that lower oil prices will make them sort of take a second look at how much it costs to do that. So some of the higher cost projects could get delayed or they could be canceled.
So what is the fallout in terms of life in Fort McMurray for people?
Well, right now, if you've got a job in Fort McMurray working at one of the existing oil sands projects, whether it's Syncrude, Suncor, Canadian Natural Resources, there's so many of them up there now, I think you're probably going to be reasonably safe in terms of your jobs. But I think the one thing where uncertainty has affected it has been wherever there is expectations of new construction. I don't think anybody has sort of figured that there'd be projects canceled en masse, but certainly construction jobs would be the first ones that would be feeling a chill of lower oil prices.
So, I mean, all in all, it's a bit of a dark mood right now in the industry?
You know, it feels a little bit like the air has come out of the balloon a bit, at least in downtown Calgary, where you had a real booming environment in the first half of the year for mergers and acquisitions and stock issues. A lot of that had to do with the narrow price discount that Canadian crude was being charged in the market, but also a big run-up in natural gas prices, because you'll remember that it was quite cold last winter and there was huge demand for natural gas. Now, in the last 4 months or so, I mean, we've seen such a rapid decline in oil prices that the mood has definitely become one of trepidation.
Interesting. Jeffrey Jones, thank you so much.
Thanks, Affan.
Well, we want to hear from you. Do you think Canada's economic future is too tightly tied to the oil sands? Tell us what you think at Globe Now. Well, many of us have heard of Fort McMurray, but few have actually visited. So what's there to do besides work? Well, the Globe sent a team up there to find out.
In town for the day with time to kill? Welcome to Layover, Fort McMurray. Fort McMurray is in the heart of Alberta's oil sands, and everything about life here is huge, including the town's recreation centre. If you're looking for a workout, try the activities at McDonald Island Park.
There's so many favorites to pick from. If you're a golfer and enjoy the outdoors, the Misconneau Golf Course. If you're a swimmer, the Syncrude Aquatic Centre. If you want a challenge, check out the rock climbing wall. We've got something for everybody.
But you did just get off a plane, so the outdoor green gym might be more your style. This space is connected to the city's extensive path system. Or maybe you're looking to get dirty instead. Fort McMurray has hundreds of kilometers of groomed ATV trails, with plenty of puddles to plow through and fire pits waiting for you to make lunch. Now, you've probably worked up an appetite, but getting fresh ingredients this far north can be a challenge. If you're looking for made-from-scratch cuisine, head to Atmosphere.
Right now, the fan favorite is beef Wellington, but tonight we're going to be showcasing some monkfish with a tomato jam that I made with some tomatoes from Meadow Creek Farms, just north of Edmonton.
And no Canadian night on the town is complete without a beer. So before the day is done, it's worth hitting up the Wood Buffalo Brewing Company.
Our lighter beers, they're gateway beers to the full, complete flavor, with the malts and the hops. If you're in Wood Buffalo Brewing Company for one night, I recommend the Pale Ale. It's a great full-flavored beer, and it's really a true craft beer.
Once you're here, you might find you need more than one night to take it all in. So you'll just have to come back.
Well, there you are, 24 exciting hours in Fort McMurray. That's all for today's show. Remember, you can find us on Twitter. We're at Globe Now. And be sure to check out the latest issue of Report on Business magazine. A lot of that material is also online. I'm Affan Chowdhry. Thanks for watching.